Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about Bzun stock and where I think it might be headed over the next coming weeks to months. So this stock is down quite a bit pre-market here due to missing on earnings, and I want to talk about where the stock might potentially come into some demand and the price targets that we might see over the next coming weeks to months. So longer term, we've kind of had this 5-wave cycle higher here playing out a zigzag trend, and ever since 2018 we've sort of been consolidating. And we built out this beautiful ABC wave here in a falling wedge. So if this is an ABC wave, we should see another 5 waves higher here. This being the first wave, this being the second wave, and then we should see a third wave higher back to around these previous highs that we had here. So what I think shorter term we could see over the price is actually a move down to undercut these lows, and then potentially a bounce and then a breakout of this long-term downtrend line. So shorter term, a couple demand zones we have is this 38.2% retracement and this 50% retracement. And there's a few ways you can go about trading this stock. So on a very short-term basis, we've actually completed 5 waves up right here, and this could potentially be an ABC down, which is why I think we can undercut these lows. On a super short-term basis, we are breaking down out of a bear flag, so what we should get is a move to the 138.2% extension to potentially the 161.8% extension of this range that we have here, which this bear flag was built out in. So I think if this is a bear flag that leads to a really short-term ABC wave, we could potentially undercut these lows to run stop, and then we would most likely see this 138.2 to 161.8% extension of its recent range here, which sits between 32 and 34. So I think there's a very good chance if we do undercut these lows that we head to about 32 to 34. It's totally possible you could end up building a flat ABC wave here, where instead you'd pretty much just get a double bottom here, and we could potentially just double bottom off these lows and then push higher like this. That's a possibility as well, although I do think there's psychological reasons to undercut those lows. So the way you could go around trading this is if we do end up undercutting these lows and we do see a move down to this $34 level, you could take a long position and then put your stop right below these highs here if we break back below this level, and that'll give you a pretty good risk to reward trade. So for instance, you could buy at 34 and then maybe add some at like 32.50 and then put your risk versus 32. I think that gives you a really good risk to reward trade here, and I think there's a very good chance we do see a third wave higher here and a breakout of this long-term falling wedge. Now longer term, if we do get that breakout, I do think the price should actually end up moving all the way to the 161.8% extension of this falling wedge. That sits pretty close to 100 a share. I do think there's a really high chance we go to around that area over the next coming year or two. I think the price could unfold something like this, where you get a third wave higher, a back test of this falling wedge breakout, and then one final push higher that breaks over these highs, where then we would probably consolidate over these highs and then see a push up to that 161.8% extension. I know you guys can't really see it on the chart, but that 161.8% extension does sit pretty much at right around at 100 a share. So I do think there's a really great chance longer term that we do see that. And if you fill at this 33 area, if you're looking to buy the stock for the long term, I think you could buy it around 33 here and then just put your stop versus these lows here at about 22. I actually think that'll be a great entry. So that gives you a pretty good risk to reward trade. You're only risking about 10 points for 70 points. So you have about a 1 to 7 risk to reward in the trade. The way I would probably go around trading this is to take a position at that $33 area, trim half when we see a bounce to these previous highs here and we make a third wave higher. And then I would probably hold the rest with a stop at break even, and then see if we get this fourth and fifth wave higher, and then this push to this 161.8% extension. So that pretty much makes the trade risk-free, and then you get a free ride higher. Now hopping over to the options chain here, I did want to kind of discuss a trade that I think offers a really good risk reward. So I really like these January 2022 $60 calls. I think these offer a great risk reward potential. So as I said before, I think it's possible we do see a 5-wave higher to the 161.8% extension of that falling wedge, which would give you around 100 a share. So these $60 calls offer around a 1 to 10 risk reward. I would look to buy these anywhere below 4 in premium. I think anything below 4 in premium will be a good buy. I think these could see as high as 40 in premium before the expiration, so I do think this is a great risk reward trade here. Again, the same thing applies. I'd look to trim half of these on a third wave higher, and that gives you a risk-free ride, and these could potentially see about 40 in premium. So yeah, that's kind of my views on Bzun. I think you get a 5-wave cycle higher here to around the 161.8% extension, which sits at about 100 a share. And shorter term, I think we can see about $32 to $34, where there should be some pretty heavy demand. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you found this video useful, make sure you subscribe and leave a like. Thank you.